1.
Those Were the Days is filmed before a live internet audience.
Hello and welcome to Those Were the Days, the show about old TV with a new look. I am this week's host, Amy, and it is another week of female protagonists. And this week, I picked a show with 4 of them. But I can't do this by myself. I'm going to need my girls. I need the sassy one, Steven.
I went to a murder mystery dinner once. I made up a detective name and everything. I didn't come close to solving the mystery because nobody wanted to talk to me about the case. I'm very jealous of everything in this episode.
We have the cranky one, Audie.
Thank you for being an internet friend. Travel down the wires and back again. Your heart is true and you're real because you picked all the bridges. And if you had a chat room and emailed everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gif or gif from me, and the message under it would say, thank you for being an internet friend.
Yes.
And the extra friendly one, Travis.
Good evening, folks. I'm Detective Dashiell Chandler of the Green Elephant Lounge. Tonight, we are going to find out once and for all who put the bump in the bump-a-bump-a-bump and who put the ram in the ram-a-lam-a-ding-dong. But more importantly, why?
Okay, before I actually introduce the show, I am going to derail it and tell everyone to go find the Omni Theater intro on YouTube for the Boston Museum of Science because it has Leonard Nimoy reciting Who Put the Bop, and it is so good, and you should all watch it.
Perfect.
It exists on the YouTubes. Anyway, yeah, Golden Girls, we're back. I'm so excited because we've done the Golden Girls before, way early in our drugs episodes.
Yep.
Because here I was thinking I liked that episode, right? It's an interesting take. It's a lot closer to I'm so excited, I'm so excited, I'm so scared than it is like a lot of the 80s shows about drugs where it's like, oh no, the marijuanas. So, I was like, oh yeah, no, this is good. Prescription drug abuse. This is like wild for its time. And then I found out that you boys don't know Golden Girls. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
This is not the first episode I would have given you. So I set out because the Golden Girls traditionally, like, they covered a lot of hard topics and a lot of big topics and a lot of like really topical stuff that somehow manages to still be entirely too relevant today. And I set out to find an episode that did none of that. I was like, no, we're not going to watch the one where Sophia befriends a man with dementia. We're not doing that. We're going to do the murder mystery weekend. Wow. I've already missed the episode title. I had it. The Case of the Libertine Bell. Okay. So has anyone gone back? We'll do this. Has anyone watched more Golden Girls since the last time we covered it outside of this episode? And you could just like
regrettably no.
Okay.
Same. Regrettably no.
Okay, but Travis has.
I have watched a little bit, yeah.
Okay. I'll get you. Get all of you. It's so good. All right, so this episode starts out so hard, gang. Gang,
Yeah,
this starts on a banger. Dorothy is sitting at the kitchen table having breakfast.
Hold on, real quick. Before we get into it, the whole theme song thing.
Yeah.
I cannot hear that theme song without thinking of the meme. Have y'all seen and heard the meme of the black guy that sings along with it and is like just going off?
I don't know.
I think I vaguely remember that.
So it's like, the theme song plays and then he's doing his thing like in between, like, whoa, that kind of thing. And like it's it's a black guy doing it. Like, if you've seen the original video, like, he takes off his wig and everything at the end just because he's so into it and just going with it. I cannot hear the theme song without thinking of that. I tried
It's
so
such
hard
a
to
good
find
theme
that
song.
in audio form that I could put on like the socials, but
Oh man.
It's one of my favorites. I love this theme song.
yeah.
Oh, great.
So this episode starts out so hard because Dorothy is at the kitchen table having coffee. Sophia comes in. She says, "Hi, Ma, how'd you sleep?" And Sophia says, "I had a dream I made love to Jay Leno." Dorothy's face is so good. She does not want to hear this.
Nope.
This is not what she is expecting. And she goes, "Is that a little unusual for you?" And Sophia says, "Not really. It was Monday night and he was filling in for Carson."
Oh, which was such a
Oh.
great, it's such a great joke. And you forget sometimes that like Carson was still on the air, and
Yeah.
that was how Leno got his start in late night, was just as a
Right.
fill-in.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was
Which-
so good.
Just help make me feel old because I knew that.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
they're
yeah,
saying
yeah,
it. Like,
yeah,
I
that's
get the
true,
joke
'cause I-
because I'm old enough to get that damn joke.
Yeah.
Well, it was the next joke that made me feel really old.
Which one was the next joke? Because now I'm not remembering.
The next one was, I guess it wasn't the next joke, but it was
Yeah.
Rose's joke about being the Sherlock Holmes of St. Olaf.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Find out which one Shinola was.
That
Yep.
was so good because I know that joke. Oh,
Incredible.
yeah.
It just goes. So we find out from Blanche that well, she comes home from her date with Mel Bushman, who's a semi-regular background character.
Mhm.
That this Maltese Falcon Club called for her. And so she's setting up the work outing. This is a pretty good work outing. I once set up a work outing to go to Dave and Buster's. This is better.
It's much better.
And so she's setting up, she works at a museum and she's setting up this work thing. They're gonna go do this murder mystery weekend, but she needs 3 more people. And Dorothy this is one of my other favorites, was because she goes in and she's talking about how much she loves murder mystery, how much she loves mysteries and how much they're a part of her. And she launches into your typical, she had more curves than the whatever Milan Grand Prix and was twice as dangerous and like the whole thing. And Sophia just goes, "You do this on dates, don't you, Dorothy?"
I felt like Dorothy in this moment because that's exactly, if someone said murder mystery, yes, I've read Raymond Chandler and Dashiell Hammett and I'm ready to go and I love noir and I'm gonna wear a hat like that. My intro is not really a joke. Like I went to a murder mystery and I was pumped to solve some murders, but people don't know how to play.
I got
murder
one of
dinners.
those like mystery party in a boxes.
Yeah.
When I was in like high school. No, people did not. And I was a theater kid.
What?
Like, how do I get a group of theater kids and we're not pulling this off? All right, gang. We might need to do a murder mystery party.
We might need
I'm
to
just
figure
saying.
that out. I'm in. Yeah. Why is all the people I
This could
know
be
that want to
good.
do it are on the internet
Or
somewhere?
no, a million miles away for sure,
Yeah.
Narnia.
Stupid.
But that is the way. But we could gather. Like there could be a gathering. It could
Make it
happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
All right. But the thing is that Blanche needs 3 more people to get the group rape. Cue all of the jokes at Blanche's expense.
Oh, genius and so quick,
Good.
because
So
it's immediately
quick.
Sophia. I thought they always gave you the group rate, and
So-
without missing a bit, like in stride is Rose. Oh, but
Yeah.
sweetie, this is for the whole night.
Now, here's the best thing about that, right? Because if you haven't watched a lot of Golden Girls, the premise behind Sophia is that she had a stroke. And it damaged the part of her brain that censors what she says, which is why she comes out with all of these really outrageous things. And then Rose is just an idiot who doesn't realize what she has just said. And it's so good. So Dorothy's in, obviously. Rose is in. Sophia says, "Okay, I guess I'll go too." And Dorothy says, "Like you had a choice."
Right.
Sophia, man, she's the MVP of this entire episode. She had
Yes.
and I know that's not unusual, but she had so many bangers, just like
Yeah,
one after the other.
absolutely.
It was incredible.
Yeah,
This venue. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we talk a lot about like titans of comedy, and
Yeah.
honestly, B. Arthur, Estelle Getty, Betty
Mhm.
White, and Rue McClanahan, like titans of
Oh,
comedy.
yeah.
They are
And
so
together,
good.
like not just on their own, but the way they do it together.
Oh, their
and
chemistry
just
is flawless.
Yeah. I've made a lot of jokes during my my big run of watching a lot of Murder She Wrote, and I would do the thing where I find in every episode the person that was in an episode of The Golden Girls. I found out that B. Arthur and Angela Lansbury were actually pretty close friends, so that all
Oh,
that all
nice.
kind of makes a little more
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
This venue, I would pay so much money to go do a murder mystery weekend at this beautiful old
Yes.
hotel. So part of this is that there is a promotion available at Blanche's work to be assistant to the acquisitions manager who is there, getting to go all around Europe and find art for the museum. It's fine. And so she's, so she wants to really, put on a good show so that it'll help her get this. So the acquisitions manager, Kendall Nesbitt, is there, and she comes over to the table and she's flirting with him in her very Blanche way. And then he goes over to sit with her rival, his Posey McGlynn. What a name.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
he's like, look
fantastic
at the
name.
way she's flirting with her. And she's like, well, you flirted with him. Yeah, but I'm from the South. It's part of my heritage. What does that mean? It means her mother was a slut too.
That killed me.
That
I was like, that's
that
something
killed
you
me
would
too.
not
Oh my
hear
gosh.
on TV today.
No.
But my word, was it the funniest line I've ever heard. in my
Especially
life.
with B.
funny.
Arthur's delivery. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh.
because it's just deadpan.
Just so good.
That
was not
I
the first,
skipped-
the only S-bomb we got this episode either. There
Oh
were
no,
sleeping
there's a
over.
lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a lot. I'm happy. I posted it the other day that I'm happy that we've taken away a lot of the negative connotations around the word slutty. I'm just sad that we had to wait until it applied to Pedro Pascal for it to happen. Here we are. Fine. I'll take it. We
Win's a
did
win.
skip they're talking about the mysteries. I skipped the part about the buffet, and Sophia's like, yeah, you want a mystery? Should try the pink dressing at the buffet. She's like, the mystery continues. So one of the big things they have to do is they have to figure out who's a guest and who's an actor who's taking part in this. And so Rose is going to take this very seriously, and Rose goes, and because they've got their coffee, so she asks another lady, she's like, oh, how's the coffee? The woman says, wonderful. Rose says, actor.
It was her face and like the way she carefully actor. Like just I got you.
Yep.
I know this one. This coffee is not wonderful.
It's so good.
So the premise of our murder mystery is that it is the 100th birthday of old guy whose name I don't remember. It doesn't matter because he doesn't speak, like he doesn't exist. He's an 88-year-old man and his 22-year-old new wife, and it's his birthday. The lights go out when they wheel in the cake. There's a gunshot and a scream, and the lights come back on, and the old man and his wife are both dead.
Mm-hmm.
And his son and daughter are there at the table. All right. So
and Sophia's like, what? Do we not
What?
get any birthday
we're
cake?
not, yeah, because she was in the bathroom because of the
Right.
mystery pink dressing. And she comes in and so the best is this actor maitre d',
Yeah.
and he just goes, oh no, they're dead.
It's so so perfect because it's, oh no, they're dead, and then back away, look for his mark, stand on his mark, and then stand up straight and deliver his next line. Like he practiced that,
So
and it was
good.
so good.
And then he just walks away, and it's so good. All right. In comes our detective.
The
Marlowe.
Marlowe.
first of our amazing guest actors. By the way,
Mhm.
there were so many faces I saw.
Yeah.
I'm going to mention
Yes.
more of them as we go, but Spade Marlowe.
Spade Marlowe.
Such a
It's a
great
great
name.
name.
Great
so
name.
good.
Yeah. For
Todd
those
Sussman
Absolutely.
for
playing
those who
him.
don't know, Sam Spade is a famous
Mhm.
noir detective, and Philip Marlowe is
Mhm.
another. And if you combine the two, see, just to
Mhm.
educate the audience that might not remember those days, you gotta
Yeah.
tell them
Yeah.
why that
True.
joke is funny.
They'll get it when we start our book club. It'll be fine.
Yep.
That's true. Yes. But yeah, I love like Todd Sussman, great character actor. And
Yes.
he popped up. I was like, all right, cool. Like that's a cool guest star to have just
Yeah.
pop up.
Oh yeah.
And he's so
and it-
good, right?
yes. Oh, he's perfect. Pitch perfect.
And he gets there and he does his whole little spiel about how he was hired to keep an eye on the young wife because he, when an 88-year-old man marries a 22-year-old girl, he likes to know what she's up to.
Mhm.
And Sophia, who's come back, is standing there next to him, and she looks up at him and she goes, "Does anybody else think the hat is just a little precious?" Everything about him is a little precious.
It
It's
really
so good. He could not be more of just like a cartoon character. It's so
Mhm.
good. All right. So now he presents the facts as we see them.
Right.
He picks up a bloody dagger off the floor, saying that we have to find this clue.
Which sets
And
up
Rose,
the best running
Yeah,
gag
Rose.
the
in the
best running
entire
gag.
episode. Oh.
And Rose says, maybe that bloody knife will lead us, maybe that bloody dagger will lead us to the murder weapon. And he just
then-
looks at her and goes, St. Olaf.
And her response is, "Boy, is he good."
He's
Oh.
good.
That killed. I had to pause for a moment and recover. That killed me.
The next
Saint
one killed
Olaf.
me more.
And then there's a gun in the daughter's purse that's
Mhm.
recently been fired. And she says, I can't remember what, because Rose says something here, right? Like this is where it
Well,
is.
he says Candy was killed with a knife, but he was shot. And Rose
Oh, yeah.
goes, "Then there must be a
there
gun."
must be a gun.
And he's like, "Southside?"
Southside.
It's
Uncanny.
uncanny.
So good.
There are Rose tells a lot. That's the only thing this episode does not have that is like so quintessential is a St. Olaf story.
Mhm.
It doesn't have a
Mhm.
Sicily story either. But
Oh, yeah.
it's so funny because you hear all these stupid things about that go on in St. Olaf from
Mhm.
Rose.
Mhm.
And there are a couple times in the show where characters that are outside of that will make reference to how stupid people in St. Olaf are. That's very good every time. Yeah, there must be a gun outside. So, yes, so there's a gun in the purse that's recently been fired. And he says, "All right, now you have all the clues." So, Blanche's rival, Posey McGlynn, stands up and very matter-of-factly declares that, it's a Mayan dagger and the son is a specialist and a collector of pre-Columbian artifacts, right?
Mhm.
So obviously he killed her and the gun is in her purse, so she killed her father. And Marlowe's like, they are innocent of those crimes. Okay. And then this is the dream, right, Steven? Like
Mhm.
this is the dream right here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is Dorothy stands up and it's just everything about it is so good. She's got a swagger,
Mhm.
everything, and that voice, right? Because she's got that real kind of gravelly voice, and
Yep.
it's so good. And so she's like, it's unlikely that she killed her father, as Gloria is her name. Like Gloria killed her father. As patricide is a predominantly male crime, but women frequently murder their mothers. And she grabs Sophia, she's got a
behind
knife.
Sophia.
So she's doing a demonstration, right? She's got Sophia's head and she has a knife in front of her neck. And she's
Not part of the
like,
show. Not part of the show.
yeah, because she's like, I would slash from left to, being right-handed, I would slash from left to right. And Sophia's like, not part of the show.
Which I just have to highlight Estelle Getty's facial mannerisms.
Incredible
Like,
stuff.
not only can they say the zingers, but they can just project them on their
Yeah.
faces.
Yeah.
Yep. So good.
So, but basically, so she goes down all these details, right? She's like, the knife, there's no way that he would use a Mayan dagger. That's too obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And being right-handed, I would slash from left to right. The knife was found on the left side of the body, so it was probably done by someone who is left-handed. Gloria, like most left-handed people, wears her wristwatch on her right hand. Now, a wristwatch it's like an Apple Watch, but it only tells time.
Right.
Which is one of those funny things because I am right-handed and I always wear my watch on my right hand. It's always one of those weird things. So it's always like shows like this because it's it's like one of those things, right? And they're like, aha, they must be left-handed because their watch is on their right hand. And I was like, haha, nope.
Sure. Statistically, that's likely.
Statistically,
it's
fine.
uncommon to wear. But I wore my watch on
Yeah.
my right hand till I was like 12.
Yeah.
I'm right-handed.
My swatch.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The old Swatch watch.
Yeah,
I love the whole bit with Dorothy going through everything because it ends with Spade Marlowe being like, so you're giving us the who and the how and the ha.
Yeah, because at one point
God.
she's like, ha.
So
And
good.
and it's so good, right? And so the deal is that he murdered his father, she murdered the new wife, and then they tried to pin it on each other because they were afraid that their father was going to change his will, and they figured if they could frame the other one that they would get the full inheritance, and that would be that. Now, I will say, as a murder weekend goes, it's all wrapped up pretty quick and tidy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like
that was very fast.
you would need to drag
Oh,
this
yeah.
out a little more if
I
I'm
was
paying for
looking
it.
at the runtime. I was like, oh, there's more to this than just this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. So, everybody's impressed. The best part is Blanche is thrilled because Posey was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible stuff. And so Kendall wants to talk to her.
Mhm.
So she gets important fact. When they sit down to dinner, Rose realizes that Blanche is wearing her earrings. She
Oh, yeah.
says, well, I asked you where they were and you said you didn't know. She's like, well, there's two options. One, I lied, or two, I guess there aren't two options. And this will become important later.
Yeah.
So Rose and Blanche were supposed to be roomies. And Blanche is like, you can either give me your key or you can sleep in the closet. And Rose is like, closet. Like, no, give me the key. You can bunk with Dorothy and Sophia. Okay. So now we're up in Blanche's room. Blanche, there's a knock at the door. Blanche comes out of the shower. Let me tell you, the negligees and bathrobes and everything in this show, I'm like, every single one looks like you're going to open the door to a police officer and act really surprised to find out your husband has died. It's just incredible stuff.
All the nightwear, I remember my grandma had a robe very similar to some of these. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
where did those go?
You can get them. They just cost a lot of money and you
Yeah.
can't wash them.
Now it's just like shorts and t-shirt. That's PJs,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But back then it was like dolled up, like you're going
Mhm.
out for the evening. That's a lot of work to put into going to bed.
It's a lot of work.
It is.
It's unnecessary. But at the same time, you're like, that's elegant. It don't have to be,
It
but it
is.
is.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at nice bathrobes because I was like, I don't have a bathrobe. I'm like, I don't have a nice bathrobe. I'd love a nice bathrobe. And then I'm like, would I wear it or would I continue to just put on my grubby hoodie in the morning? Let's be
Mhm.
real.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not
I
a robe
understand who I
person.
am at this point. I
Hoodie for
know
the
where
win.
Yeah.
I'm at. So there's a knock at the door and Blanche comes out thinking it's Kendall. She opens the door and it's a waiter with champagne. Fantastic.
It was, but it was the next in our
Yeah, it
guest
was.
actors that I recognize because that's Leland Orser,
Yeah.
Oh
who
my
I
gosh.
love Leland Orser so much. Usually he plays weird characters in a lot
Sure.
of stuff, like really weird characters. But he was just, you know, young actor at this point, and it was just cool
Mhm.
to see him.
That's
Sorry.
that's another bit. That's another running bit during the murder mystery. Is there's the maitre d' and Rose says the butler did it, and the butler says the maitre d'. She goes, "Oh, thank you. The maitre d' did it." And then like later in the middle of Dorothy's speech, she just goes, "Oh, maitre d' is some kind of waiter." Unbelievable. God, Rose. I love her. I love her so
Mhm.
much.
Mhm.
Oh,
So the waiter's here and he has brought a champagne. She's like, "Oh, I'll take that." And he's like, "No, no, no, I'll take it." And he goes, "Oh my God." And on the bed is Kendall Nesbitt with a steak knife through his heart. Oh,
Yep.
commercials. Okay. This is
That's-
one of those shows, right? Like it's always weird to go back and watch TV with commercials without commercials.
It
Mhm.
fades out and
Yeah.
Because then
fades
you're like,
in.
oh yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
happened here? I was
Would
thinking
have
about
been
steak
good.
knives, though. Like, a lot of steak knives are kind of curved on the end. You know, they're not
Yeah.
stabby. They're more for sawing. So if you really
Mhm.
want to stab somebody with a steak knife, you gotta be
You really
trying.
gotta.
Like, you gotta
Mhm.
really go at
Like
like
I
a.
feel like you could
Mhm.
like if you wanted to like remove a digit,
Oh yeah, you
you
could
Sure,
do
that
probably
could
that.
work.
could, but I
Yeah,
don't
Yeah.
think you could get through a
but through the
breastbone.
sternum and yeah, like
No.
Mhm.
nah, that's like trying to stab
We'll
somebody with
ignore
a
that. It's
spoon.
fine.
Like, good luck.
Yeah. Like you could maybe do it, but you need like a chisel. It's fine. It doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter.
So Dorothy and Rose and Sophia are there, presumably because they heard yelling. That's my assumption. We don't really
Yeah.
know. And Dorothy says, give me
Give me
my
your mirror, Mama.
mirror. Well, why? Well, every morning I hold it under Ma's nose, and if it fogs up, I start the coffee.
Which that was from the pilot, wasn't it? I
Yes, it
think that
was.
actually, yeah.
Yep.
So that's a
Yep,
great
that
that's a
joke is
great
also
callback.
in the.
Oh,
It
gosh.
really is. The IMDb lists it as a goof, and it like absolutely is not. It is a callback. This is season 7. Like this
Right?
is so far into this run. This is so far that the gay cook is no longer remembered. I'm glad they got rid of him, as good as he was. We didn't need to include a man just because.
Mhm.
So Dorothy holds it under Kendall's nose, and it doesn't fog up. All right.
Oh no.
There's like a lot of ways to maybe check if someone's dead.
Oh,
Sure.
lots.
And that's maybe not the first one
because they can
that
hold
I
their breath,
would do. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
All right, it's fine.
Yeah.
We'll go with it.
Well, not
Oh,
like
'cause
they
we
get
gotta
a
bring
lot
in
of time
the
to check
head of-
anyways.
We got to
Yeah.
bring in hotel head of security.
Yeah, we do need to bring in
Mhm.
hotel head of security. I don't
There's
remember which one that
another
is.
one. That's Zach Grenier.
Yeah.
oh, that
Oh
guy.
yeah.
I love him too. It's
He's
just a
great.
parade of actors that I love in
Yeah.
this. Outside of the 4 main characters.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Mhm.
all these side characters popping in for, a line of dialogue, but I love them.
I did almost pick the episode with Dick Van Dyke in it, but I felt like that defeated like he's a little bit of a show stealer, and I feel like that defeated the purpose of doing female protagonists if we were like, this is a Dick Van Dyke episode.
Right.
But
and
it is
Yeah.
really good.
But
It's
that's
really
one of the
good.
things that's great about this is you've got like I'm recognizing all these faces, but none of that takes away from the fact that our four leads are
Oh,
are the show.
they
Like,
own the stage. Yeah,
They
they
also,
are.
for the most part, were not anybody when they did that. Like,
yeah, this was early in all of their careers.
there's a baby Mario Lopez episode. There's a baby George Clooney episode.
Mhm.
That one I remember.
That's a good one. But it is confirmed by a head of hotel security that he is dead, and they're going to cordon off the room, and obviously no one is going anywhere.
I love that we get one more Rose Olaf joke
Yes.
here.
Yes. Oh,
This steak knife.
Is it
right-
here or is it the other one?
it's here.
Oh, no,
'cause
it is
was-
here. Yeah,
This
yeah,
is where I
Zach
wrote it
Grenier.
down.
With a steak
'cause
knife.
He shows off.
Yeah,
right
the
through the
steak
heart.
knife in his chest. I bet
And
that's
Rose
what
is
killed
like-
him.
Saint Olaf.
Saint
It's like
Olaf.
I'm wearing a sign.
That was
So good.
And I love
What a
I
payoff.
love that Rose doesn't take any of it as an insult at all. She's
No.
like, oh wow, you know.
No.
Okay,
You
cool.
know.
That's the
My
the
tiny
best part
town.
about Rose. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's just so precious.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Betty White was originally supposed to be Blanche, but she had just come off a show being the sex pot, and she was like, I can't do that again. Like, I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
want to wind up in that groove.
I couldn't see it
I
any
mean-
other way. Like Rue McClanahan
No.
does
Well,
such
sure.
an unbelievable job as
She's
Blanche.
incredible.
Yeah. No, it really,
She
really-
does such a good job that, like, by the time we get to, like, she's in an episode of Murder, She Wrote, and I just keep expecting her to be Blanche, and she
We
simply is not. I'm like, come on.
We watched that.
It was the episode we did. Yeah,
Yeah.
the first one, the
Mhm.
on the
Mhm.
bus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
Yes.
Okay, so they're, basically, so that Sophia's like, Dorothy, you can figure this out. Come on, pussycat. Like, you can figure this out. Because there's like no clue. Like, there's no explanation outside of Blanche did it, even though they
Mhm.
know Blanche didn't do it.
Right.
She's like, come
Well,
on, you
and
can
I
do it. And he's
love-
like, go ahead.
I love Blanche being like, okay, all right, no, it's fine. I can handle going to prison. And Rose is like, "But, sweetie, they're gonna send you to a women's prison.
Oh,
Yeah.
And just her whole demeanor changes. No.
Oh.
And
And
it's funny
y-
those times where Rose is like the smarter one for an
Yeah.
instant.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Can go to prison. I'll be brave. No, I'll send you to a women's prison. Oh my god. Oh no.
That and then we get my favorite it's hard to pick a favorite Sophia moment, but when
Yeah.
when Blanche is like, this doesn't happen to a Devereaux, this is something that happens to Petrillo. And Sophia's like, hey, no Petrillo has ever left a body to be found.
So good.
Second time in the episode, I had to pause it and recover.
Yeah.
Right.
So amazing.
So, Sophia's telling Dorothy, like, come on, pussycat, you can figure this out. And she's, look how fast you figured out the other thing. She's like, Mom, that was a game. This is real life. So he goes, oh, yeah, you've never been good at real life. Brutal. Unreal.
And then again, just be Arthur's eyes alone looking back
So
at her.
good. So good. She knows she can kill her. The knife,
Yeah.
left to right. Okay. So we've brought in, everyone's down in the lobby. I mean, back in the dining room. In the
Mhm.
real, like, in the traditional detective mystery, I've gathered you all here sort of
Yep.
way. And we get Detective Alvarez of Dade County.
Tony Plana.
Tony
Tony
Plana.
Plana.
Yeah.
I was so
Mac-
excited.
Manny
Manny
Calavera.
Calavera. Manny Calavera himself. It's like, look, he does TV too. I just said no. I was like, oh yeah, I guess he does.
So, he's basically here to arrest Blanche because there's no other situation. So Dorothy's like, wait. There's like other, what if? And she starts trying to put together the pieces. And so she talks about, the bits, this part, it gets a little fuzzy in my head. She talks about how, Posey McGlynn. Oh, because Posey
Well,
McGlynn
before
is
that, Blanche is like, or no, Dorothy is like, but she has no motive. What is her motive for killing him?
right,
And that's when Posey speaks up
right.
and
That's
lays
right,
out the motive.
right.
Yeah.
That she and Kendall are sleeping together, and that Kendall wanted to go to Blanche's room to let her down easy, and that
Right.
Blanche, flew into a rage and stabbed him. She with her dress flung across the bed. Important later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then there's a lot of the word floozy is flown around, I believe.
Uh-huh.
No, tramp. One of
Tramp,
them.
yes.
A lot
First
of
slut
them.
comes back,
Yeah. But like,
and then
she's
that
something
tramp killed my lover.
like,
And then, I guess is it Dorothy? Like, I know
yeah,
Blanche. This tramp is incapable of
yeah,
murder.
is incapable of murder. And, like, Blanche's face is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
It's
that
like,
mixture
"Thank-
of thank
thanks,
you, yeah, thank you, I think.
thanks. And so Dorothy starts laying it out about the way it could have gone. And she talks about, that Posey could have taken a steak knife and slipped it in her purse.
Mm-hmm.
And Sophia goes, "That's no big deal. I took a whole place setting. Not now,
Ma.
Mom." Which this pays off so well at the very
Yes,
end.
it does.
But
Mhm.
there's a moment here where the show didn't have to do this. But
Mhm.
while Dorothy is giving her, no, here's what happened is Posey overheard this and she put a steak knife in her purse and went upstairs and we see the flashback
Mhm.
of Posey doing that. If
Mhm.
you go back and watch the scene the first time through, she's doing that in the background of the
Yeah.
scene where they're all talking.
Oh,
You can see her messing around, putting something in her purse and getting up and leaving the
Yeah.
room.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
love it when
So
they do
good.
like,
that.
yeah, because they didn't have to do that at all.
No.
There's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
need for that, but they did, and I
They
love
thought
that.
ahead and planned that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because continuity when you're doing like a mystery like this, because really, like a good mystery, the rules are the audience has to have the same clues as the people trying to solve the puzzle. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mhm.
No hiding a
Mhm.
clue. So having that in
No.
there really, if you were paying attention, you could see that have happened. And
That's why I got so mad at Only Murders in the Building.
mm,
Because I was expecting it to be a murder mystery. And then they just threw things in at the very end, and I was very angry. But then once
yeah.
I could accept, like, I had a notebook, gang.
Oh
I
dang.
had a notebook.
Mm.
So I was pretty mad about it. But then once I could accept that, like, okay, that's just not what this is,
Yeah.
I can just go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Dorothy lays out the whole thing, basically that, Posey was jealous and that, Kendall had let himself in while Blanche was in the shower. And there's a knock at the door, which he assumed was the champagne. So he opens the door and Posey confronts him and stabs him in the heart, because she described Blanche's dress being flung over the bed. But the only people who saw it were the hotel staff, the detective, and the girls.
Mm-hmm.
So she could only have known if she had been there at the time of the murder. Ba, ba, ba. And then she's about to be arrested by Alvarez when who should come down the stairs but Kendall Nesbitt.
Mm-hmm.
He's not dead.
News of his death has been
What?
greatly exaggerated. It was all part of the game. It's part 2 of the game. And
Yeah.
thank you so much to the Maltese Falcon Club and especially to Blanche and everything. And thank you for coming. And so, there's a lot of, well, Kendall, you were in on it. And Blanche is like, well, I was in on it too. It was like, no, you weren't. All right, no, I wasn't. I just hate being the brunt of jokes. Funny, you don't mind being the brunt of limericks, which is already good, right? There's an episode where there's flowers delivered to the house for Blanche, and the delivery boy says, "This is for Blanche Devereux," and Dorothy says, "It's Devereaux. It's only pronounced Devereux in limericks," which is real good, real good. Oh, that's what it was.
Ooh.
It was talking about the knife. That's the other joke. Is when why would because Dorothy says, why would Blanche bring a knife to what she believes to be a romantic thing?
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And Detective Alvarez says, well, I don't know. I don't know her sexual proclivities. And Sophia says, what are you new?
What are you, a rookie?
So good. There's so many poor jokes at poor Blanche's expense.
It's so good. The writing in this
Incredible.
episode is just top notch. I
Yeah.
was just giggling
Mhm.
from start to finish the whole way
Yeah.
through. It was just
Yeah.
a spectacular episode.
It really, really was. And we haven't even gotten to possibly the best joke in the whole episode.
So
Because like the
Go
setup
ahead.
for it is what
no,
does
go
it.
ahead.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because it's they're wrapping everything up and Sophia's like, yeah, so no crimes were committed at all. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
And she leans down to
What a
pick up her
little fun.
purse and she can't pick it up.
Mhm.
And then she says, Pussycat, carry my purse to the car.
So we do get because the mirror didn't fog up, and that's the one thing
Oh,
that
yeah, yeah.
Dorothy
Oh,
can't
yeah.
figure out,
Mhm.
right? And she's like, why didn't the mirror fog up? And Rose says, well, maybe someone could have sprayed it with defogger. She's like, well, why would you? So Blanche is like, why would you do that? She's like, well, there could be two reasons. One, I was mad at you for taking my earrings without asking. Who am I kidding? There's only one answer. That's why I did it. So good. And then, yeah, Pussycat, can you carry my purse to the car? How many place settings is that? There's so
Right?
much silver in there.
Yeah.
There's another episode where they go to a hotel and they're packing and getting ready to leave. And it just shows Sophia just like packing everything that's not nailed down and attempting a few things that are. She's like, if I can get a screwdriver, I can get this phone. Incredible. I love her. So that is the case of the Libertine Belle. This is a much better example of the Golden Girls. I will say that for sure. And I want to know what you boys thought. We'll start with you, Audie.
Oh, I loved it. Oh my gosh. I was laughing the whole time.
Good.
I think I'm the only one of us that tried to take notes, and good lord, it was hard to take notes.
It's hard to take
It's
notes.
hard.
I know.
Because there's so many zingers.
I was
Mhm.
gonna, and I just like hit play, like thinking I was about to. And then we're 3 jokes in, and I'm like, nope,
Yeah.
it's not happening. Gonna go off
Mhm.
vibes.
Mhm.
Steven,
No,
how about
this
you?
was great.
This show hit the ground running, like right out of the gate. I'm laughing and busting a gut, and so far the 2 episodes of Golden Girls I've actively watched have been for this show, and I'm ashamed because this show is right up my alley. Like it's got everything I love: old people,
Mm.
Mhm.
good jokes, old people. I don't know. I love it. I need more of it in my life. I want it in my veins. I could see like what Dick Van Dyke was to 7-year-old Steven
Yeah.
is Golden Girls could be to 40-year-old
Yeah.
Steven. Like it
Yeah.
just has that magic of that classic TV, those timeless jokes that are fun, a little bit lewd. I don't know. I'm all in. This is the greatest bit of TV I've seen, and I just finished Andor, and I'm loving this so much. This is amazing.
It's so
TV.
funny because there's a few episodes that people will talk about as being like problematic,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's not that like I feel like it's not that. Like, there's an episode where Dorothy's son is marrying an older black woman,
Mhm.
and Dorothy is upset that she's old, like she's significantly older. So Dorothy's upset about the age difference. But they meet the woman's family, and the woman's family is mad that she's marrying a skinny white boy. And there's like I feel like there's no media literacy involved in people that are like, well, this gets really inappropriate. Because at one point, like, Blanche and Rose are getting ready for something, and they come out while Dorothy's talking to these black women, and they have a mud mask on their face, and they're like, no, 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 we're not, no, 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 we're not, we didn't, no. And like
Oh,
people are like,
gosh.
oh no, and I was like, no, that's
No,
not,
yeah.
that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
As someone
Um,
who watched an awful lot of All in the Family, you
Yeah.
definitely these
Mhm.
shows are not trying to be the bad guy. They're trying to expose the dumb
Yeah.
ideas that people get
Mhm.
caught up in, and I think that's what makes the shows like that could be a not a timeless joke, but the way it's presented, it's like.
exactly.
And I'm pretty good at like thinking of things in their time and being like, okay, I get why that was okay then, or,
Sure.
Mhm.
as far as culture goes. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You
You have
like
to think
it's
of it in its time, but also like people don't. People take the wrong lesson from something like All in the
Yes.
Family, where they think
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
realize that Archie Bunker
he's not
is
the
a
hero.
joke.
Yeah.
He's not
Right.
the hero, right? It's
No.
Nick Offerman's character
Yes.
isn't. They don't read that right, and that's the
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
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 People don't get it.
Um, Travis, how about you?
Yes.
Okay.
So I did try to take notes while watching this, but I had to give up because there was too many
Well,
jokes.
it's
Like,
too much.
I mean, there was the joke about during Posey's rant where she's like, she ran up to the room and tore her clothes off, and it just Sophia. No, that's Velcro. It just gives the illusion of tearing.
Right.
Just all of it. Like
Ah,
all four of the leads of this show are just treasures, and we
Yeah.
didn't deserve any of them. They're
yeah.
so good. Like just absolutely comedic gold, and their chemistry together. I mean, B. Arthur and Estelle Getty, their chemistry is
So good.
perfect.
Mhm.
No, I absolutely loved this. I love the show. This episode is one of the best episodes I've seen of the Golden Girls, and I still haven't watched all of them. But of
Yeah.
the ones that I've watched, this is one of the funniest ones, start to finish. It's just amazing. And on top of that, just like getting to Leo DiCaprio and point at the screen of like, I know that guy. When Tony Plana
Ah,
showed up, it just warmed my heart. Like I love him so much.
Mhm.
I mean, I love Manny as a character, and his voice is ingrained in my head. But like Tony Plana in general is just super fun. So to add that cherry on top of the wonderful Sunday that is this series was just great.
good. I'm glad. Did we get any feedback?
Oh, that's
I
a
didn't.
wonderful
I
question.
don't
I'm
know that
glad
we
I
did.
brought it. I put it right here where I could get to it really easily. Hold on a moment. No emails this week.
No, I didn't get anything on the socials besides just
Nope.
likes.
How dare you all?
I know the devil.
You can give us feedback though. We're everywhere. You can email us at oh no, it's been too long. We took a week off.
Those were the day
Those
show.
were the day show at gmail.com.
Correct.
They're on the Blue Ski at those days show.
We got one bit of feedback on the Blue Ski.
Yeah.
Sean Bloom said, "Great episode. Love rewatching the show. Seeing Dorothy play detective was fun to watch. The gag with Sophia's purse at the end, brilliant." And that
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed,
Big
Sean.
agree.
Also,
those
Audie
days-
crushing it with the
The art
art
was
The
so
again
art,
this
good.
week.
the art's so good.
So good.
I watched
Love
the
having
episode and
my
I was just like, oh
girls.
yeah. This is one where I had to watch the episode because I knew I wanted to kind of play to it, and good lord, was it easy to
And,
Yeah,
and Amy, in our
incredible.
group chat, you
Yeah.
mentioned that you have a Golden Girls persona in your friend
do.
group.
I
Mhm.
do.
But it wasn't B. Arthur. It wasn't Dorothy.
No. No, I'm the Blanche of the friend group.
Okay.
Take that however you like. I feel like it's not like a great episode to admit that after, but here we are.
You're not Southern
But-
at all.
No, couldn't be less Southern
But what I will say,
without being
I-
Canadian.
what I will say is, based on Audie's art, the dress looked better. Blanche's dress
Oh, it's
looked
way better on
me.
you,
Yeah.
for sure,
Oh, yeah.
for sure, for sure.
It's the beard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, boys, we have one more week of female protagonists, and that is going to Travis. Travis, what we
Yes.
doing?
So we are going to go back to the 1970s. But we're going to go back to 1970s Saturday morning cartoons because we are going to watch an episode, episode 6, I believe, of Josie and the Pussycats,
Oh, my
Hanna-Barbera.
goodness.
based on the Archie
Yeah.
comic. It is there was only one season of the show, which we'll get into kind of how that all came about and how it was done. But
Nice.
Josie and the Pussycats, and it is season 1, episode. Remembering which one it is, I believe it is 6, and it's available on Hulu to watch. It is
X marks the
episode
spot.
6. X marks the spot. Yes,
I'm so excited.
I can't wait. I
Josie
can't
and
wait
the
to talk with you guys
Pussycats
about this
is
one
real
because
good.
I learned something about the show that I never knew. That I can't wait to talk about. So, Josie and the Pussycats, season 1, episode
Nice.
6. X marks the spot.
Yes.
Nice.
So excited. All right. Well, we've solved this mystery. So until next week, Josie and the Pussycats. For Audie, for Travis, for Stephen, I'm Amy, and thank you for listening to Those Were the Days.
St. Olaf.